We're at the Croft, and it is bitter today. Ooh, what is it? Which way's the wind blowing? Northwest, which is over there. So most of the wind comes from the north. I think it comes from like flipping, I God knows where. Where's it come from? I don't know, I can't even think. But anyways, anything comes from the north, it's chilly, especially this time of year, and my hands are burning. So let's keep walking, let's keep talking. So I'm at the Croft right now, and these are the trees. These are the only trees we have on the Croft, the only ones. And I find it weird, like, I don't know why they just kind of planted this kind of, obviously I think like windbreak, but there's not enough of them to kind of have that effect. It's almost like kind of for decorative purposes, like, and they're pretty tall. And it's kind of hard to kind of judge kind of the age of these trees, because only have, for example, on the mainland, the average tree, and I say average, like your generic like ash and sycamore and all those kind of sapper ones and London planes, they can grow maybe 25 feet in 10 years, which is pretty substantial for most trees. That's not including like willows and stuff, because willows go crazy. Willows get really tall really fast. I've seen a willow grow like 8 foot in 8 months. So it's hard to kind of distinguish, because these have got about how big? About 20 foot, almost 25 foot. So they could have been here longer than 10. They could be longer than that. It's just like, because the wind's so strong here, kind of like a tree can only get so high before it's just like, you know what, we can't take the winds here. We're going to stick to this height and we're just going to exist. We're not going to thrive, we're just going to exist. That's what I find a lot of plants here, because the wind's so strong, they just exist, unless you're kind of like rush thrives, like it's really low down to the ground, but trees struggle, but low growing kind of marginal perennials thrive. So yeah, kind of there's spruce, there's what else is here? There's spruce, there's some type of cypress, there's and a birch over there, there's a sycamore. This is what a sycamore tree looks like on the Croft. Ooh, sorry, you got snagged here. So it's pretty low height, and you can see this kind of the way the bark's been rubbed down here. What happens is the deer come in here and they rub themselves and mark, and I've spoken about this before in a vlog. I'm not going to touch it, because the last time I did, my hands smelled like deer for the whole day. So here's another prime example of what the deer can do. And they rub up on here, look, just here, and they can do the whole Baloo the bear, like, and scratch their back. But yeah, it's just sad. And I'm also saying about before about these trees is you can see the kind of, they look burnt. So we're looking here, all the trees behind me, and you can see the burn. You can see the wind burn. And if you're not sure about wind burn, let me explain. So I always talk about prevailing winds, but it's just, when I talk about windbreaks, I might as well just bring it into the equation again. So southwest is that way, and that's where most of the prevailing winds come from. And it just bellows down, and you can see here, it's almost like it's been lopped all at the side, because look at the growth coming out on this side, and then look at the growth on this side. It's almost like it's just been chopped straight off. Primarily, you can see it all the trees that's kind of suffering like that, even though that's the east side. So we get some minimal sun in the morning, and then south is over here, and then southwest, west over here. So you'd think you're kind of coming at here with all the kind of extra light that we're getting for the whole day, but no, because of the wind and the burn, that's why it looks like that. That is wind burn. So basically, whilst I'm here, what I will do in time is that I will kind of sheet mulch around areas, and we'll add more trees in, because in this bit here, I'd like to put like surround it by trees and almost create like a little copse. So it would be nice to kind of get all the trees around here, around the sides and stuff. So we'll just wait and see. So let's keep warm now, because I'm freezing, I'm cold here, I'm standing here talking. So let's get the cuttings out and let's get planting and put them where they need to be. So here's the pallets and the soil. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Here is what I made earlier, and here's what I was discussing earlier about my Olearia traversii. So yeah, it's not amazing, but if you're new here, this was on that side. It was over there on the right hand side, but I had to move it because I had to do the track. So it was on this side, and I had these over there, because that's a lot more shady than it is on this side. The sun, like I said, south is that way, so the sun goes all over the top. I didn't think when I first moved here that the sun could get here, but it does. It gets so high enough, and there's not many buildings in the way to kind of prevent light, so the sun just bellows down. So here's a bit more sunny side, hence why I put this pallet here to kind of protect it from the sun. But, so believe it or not, I did put these in. If you can see them just through the cracks and stuff, I did put these in July. In June, July, which is kind of mad, and they're still taking I've got a good, of all these pots I filled up with cuttings, even up to here, I got to get a good, I'd say 80%, you can kind of see it. So all of it will be 100%, and leaving this bit down the side here, please excuse the guinea fowl. But yeah, so I kind of put, even though I know these guys died, I put them here anyway. It's almost like a barrier. I just thought, sod it, I can't be able to deal with them, so I put them here. So what I'm going to do is take out all the dead in these pots and then put the cuttings in there. And if you go over this side quickly, and the step. So if I remembered before, I told you about some having potatoes in these tyres and stuff. And just for the record, after me using and putting my cuttings in these pallets and stuff, I'm never ever going to use tyres again. Because tyres, yes, tyres have been on the road for how long, and you feel as though they leached all the badness out of them on the road since they kind of, that's why they're disused and they kind of just piled up and stuff. But they kind of rot, they don't rot down, you know what I mean? They don't rot down like I would expect cardboard to rot down. Because you can give cardboard like 10 years, it's gone. Whereas this, it might not be gone, it mostly end up being all like fraying away and stuff and ending up just like bitty and like plastic almost. So that's why I'm not going to use them. I've kind of looked into it a bit more. There's always like yes and no. It's kind of hard to differentiate what to do, and you can use your discretion. You can, but I mean, I'm not saying don't use them, but just me personally, I'm not going to use them again because again, they don't rot down like cardboard would. If that makes sense. So I've blabbed enough. Let's get warm. Let's get busy. Let's get some cuttings. Hello again. So you might be wondering why I'm back home. It's because I was sitting in a van in the cold sorting out cuttings. I was like, I could be doing it in my house. So that's why I'm back here. I'm sorting it out, and yeah, it's just nice and warm. I say nice and warm. You can still see your breath in this room. We don't put the heater on in this room. It's a sun room, but it's not very sunny right now, and it's what we call it the kind of the playroom / summer room. So once it's summer and it's summer in here, it's nice and warm. But you know, it's just basically it's a perfect room for cutting. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's perfect. So yes, that's why I'm here.